Good morning, students. I hope you all are well and good at home. Stay safe, but show must go on. Okay, today's day should not be wasted, students. So let's go through the chapter number 5, The Adventure. Jayant Narlikar is the writer of it. Now, the adventure chapter is about one type of science fiction. Okay, the characters are Rajendra Deshpande, a friend and student of Professor Gaitonde, who uses scientific theories like catastrophe theory and quantum theory to try and explain the professor's experience. And Professor Gangadhar Pant Gaitonde, a historian who is known for his knowledge and engaging speeches. There is one more character, Khan Sahib, a merchant who accompanies Gaitonde in the alternate world, offering glimpses into its society and culture. Now, the adventure, it's a chapter, it's a one type of journey on the Greater Bombay Metropolitan Railway, symbolizes a shift from one state to another. And here, the moral of the lesson, we can say that we can have life is a journey of choices and experiences, and our decisions shape our reality both literally and metaphorically. I repeat, when you read the whole chapter, we'll discuss the whole chapter, okay, what the moral you will get, that life is a journey of choices and experiences. Whatever happens in our life, it is the choice of the options. There are always two options, right and wrong, the choices we have. There may be multiple choices, but our future selects our good progress on the basis of choices. And our decisions shape our reality, both literally and metaphorically. So let's see what says in the chapter Jayant Narlikar. There you will find and notice these expressions in the text in further meaning from the context as blow by blow account, okay, then morale booster relegated to political acumen, de facto, then astute, doctored accounts, give and do. When it comes in the chapters, we will do underline and write the meaning of it. Now see, here the adventure is a science fiction, and Gangadhar Pant was a historian. He was also known as the Professor Gaitonde, and he was traveling by the Jijamata Express. His mind was moving fast. He had arrived at a plan of action. In Bombay, he would go to a big library and look through history books. He will try to find out how the present state of affairs was reached. He had also planned to return to Pune and have a long talk with Rajendra Deshpande. He hoped that Rajendra would surely help him understand what had happened. Okay, when we read the text, you see here, the Jijamata Express sped along the Pune-Bombay route considerably faster than the Deccan Queen. These are the name of the trains. There were no industrial townships outside Pune. The first stop, Lonavala, came in 40 minutes. The Ghat section that followed was no different from what he knew. The train stopped at Karjat only briefly and went on at even greater speed. It rode through Kalyan. Meanwhile, the racing mind of Professor Gaitonde had arrived at a plan of action in Bombay. He was thinking, he was traveling by the train, and he was thinking continuously what had happened, how it happened, and want to know what can be done. So indeed, as a historian, he felt he should have thought of it sooner. He would go to a big library and browse through the history books. That was the surest way of finding out how the present state of affairs was reached. Means today, what is the situation of the present, how it happened, what happened in the past, that we are at the same present point. So that was the surest way of finding out how the present state of affairs was reached. He also planned eventually to return to Pune and have a long talk with Rajendra Deshpande, who would surely help him understand what had happened. And that is assuming that in this world there existed someone called Rajendra Deshpande. The train stopped beyond the long tunnel. It was a small station called Sarhad. An Anglo-Indian in uniform went through the train, checking permits. This is where the British Raj begins. You are going for the first time, I presume? Khan Sahib asked. And I said, Khan Sahib, who was Khan Sahib? A merchant who accompanies Gaitonde in the alternate world, offering glimpses into its society and culture. Now there is one mark is given that present story is an adapted version. The original text of the story can be consulted on the NCERT website. Okay. See, yes, when the Khan Sahib said that this is where the British Raj begins, you are going for the first time, I presume, and on replying, Gaitonde said, yes, the reply was factually correct. Gangadhar Pant had not been to this Bombay before. He ventured a question, and Khan Sahib, how will you go to Peshawar? This train goes to the Victoria terminus. I will take the frontier mail tonight out of the central. How far does it go? By what route? Gangadhar Pant asked. Bombay to Delhi, then to Lahore, and then Peshawar. A long journey. I will reach Peshawar the day after tomorrow, Khan Sahib said. Thereafter, Khan Sahib spoke a lot about his business, and Gangadhar Pant was a willing listener. For in that way he was able to get some flavor of life in this India that was so different. The train now passed through the suburban rail traffic. The blue carriages carried the letters GBMR on the side, Greater Bombay Metropolitan Railway, the full form of GBMR. So explained Khan Sahib. See the tiny Union Jack painted on each carriage, a gentle reminder that we are in British territory. The place they have entered, it was a British territory. And how did it identify? By the tiny Union Jack painted on each carriage of the train. The train began to slow down beyond Dadar and stopped only at its destination, Victoria Terminus. The station looked remarkably neat and clean. The staff was mostly made up of Anglo-Indians and Parsis, along with the handful full of British officers. As he emerged from the station, Gangadhar Pant found himself facing an imposing building. The letters on it proclaimed its identity to those who did not know this Bombay landmark. What was written on there? See, East India House, headquarters of East India Company. So you can see the building was mentioned like the East India House, headquarters of East India Company. So here we come to know that there are two people, Gangadhar Pant, Gaitonde and Khan Sahib. They came here by the train. They entered in the British territory, and they reached nearby the building. That building was the East India House headquarters of East India Company. Prepared as he was for many shocks, Professor Gaitonde had not expected this. The East India Company had been wound up shortly after the events of 1857 at least, and that is what history books said. Yet here it was. The shock Professor Gaitonde got. Why? still exists here. Actually, it had been wound up shortly after the events of 1857, that Mangal Pandey incident and other happened. So yet here it was not only alive but flourishing. So history had taken a different turn, perhaps before 1857. Now, how and when had it happened? He had to find out what happened during that time. Now he is thinking about it. As he walked along Hornby Road, as it was called, he found a different set of shops and office buildings. There was no handloom house building. Instead, there were boots and Woolworth departmental stores, imposing offices to Lloyds, Barclays, and other British banks, as in a typical high street of a town in England. The infrastructure, the area, everything, Gaitonde was feeling like he was in a typical high street of a town in England. Actually, it was Indian place. He turned right along Home Street and entered Farber Building. I wish to meet Mr. Vinay Gaitonde, please, he said to the English receptionist. She searched through the telephone list, the staff list, and then through the directory of employees of all the branches of the firm. He shook her head and said, I am afraid I can't find anyone of that name, either here or in any of our branches. Are you sure he works here? The receptionist asked the question to Gaitonde. Gangadhar Pant Gaitonde. When he asked to meet Mr. Vinay Gaitonde, the receptionist said that he is not their employee. Now this was a blow not totally unexpected. If he himself were dead in this world, what guarantee had he that his son would be alive? Indeed, he may not even have been born. He thanked the girl politely and came out. It was characteristic of him not to worry about where he would stay. His main concern was to make his way to the library of the Asiatic Society to solve the riddle of history. So here Gaitonde got confused. He asked to meet Mr. Vinay Gaitonde, but he was not there. So Gaitonde thought to go first of all to the library. Grabbing a quick lunch at a restaurant, he made his way to the town hall. So students, we have seen up to here today chapter 5, The Adventure by Jayant Narlikar. Okay, read first, second, third and fourth, okay, chapter very carefully. Underline the word where you find difficult words and prepare the short summary of it, that how much you have understood. When we meet face to face, the summary will be asked to you, so we can discuss again on it and go ahead. Okay students, thank you.